I want to show you some of the destruction here right behind me. You can see all of this debris on the ground, and this is just one of many buildings that have been damaged due to that tornado here in Taylorville. There is damage left over after someone set this home on fire. Neighbors say this particular stretch of Natural Bridge is dangerous, especially considering there's only a stop sign and no stoplight. In the time we've been here, we've seen dozens of people dodge the traffic to get across the street. Now imagine that happening at night. Police say they got a call about a shooting, and when they got here, they found a man shot to death inside of this parking lot here at this apartment complex. Take a look behind me. You can see that it's still a very active scene. It is a race against time. Crews are working very hard and quickly to fill and make flood walls like this one before the river crests on Monday. And there are several downed trees here after those storms came rolling through this area. And you can see exactly how much impact it is having on traffic. Normally, Trinity sits on this front porch across the street to wait for her school bus, but instead on Thursday, someone tried to kidnap her. When something like this happens, you hope that neighbors saw or heard something, and this time, someone did. This business is closed as police continue their investigation. Police say around 11 o'clock this morning, someone shot and killed a 32-year-old woman. But as it turns out, the woman who wrote this letter is actually the same woman found shot to death inside of this burning building. Well, the security camera clearly captured the suspect's face. The owner tells me that the two suspects smashed through a window, broke this glass case here, and got out in 1 minute and 20 seconds. In these court documents, the judge declared the offsets a public nuisance, and he gave the owners an ultimatum: make changes to keep the public safe or stay closed forever.
I don't want anyone else to get hurt or die.
Since 2018, every day has been a struggle for Melissa Dufell.
I don't know how people move on from it, honestly.
Nearly 2 years ago, her son Cole took his first trip to the Offsets to celebrate his favorite holiday, July 4th, with his friends, but it was also his last. He drowned in the water-filled quarry.
Oh, it was devastating. I mean, I just was screaming, crying. You don't believe it.
He's one of 9 people who have lost their lives at the site since it opened 30 years ago. And since his tragic death, Cole's mother has been on a mission to get justice for all of them.
The Hensons need to be accountable for many deaths.
Last year, the Missouri Attorney General's office opened up a case against the Hensons. They're the owners of the Offsets. That case went to court in May, and on Thursday, a Madison County Circuit judge decided to shut them down permanently.
I don't want any other mom to go through what we've had to go through.
The judge blasted the owners for charging a fee to the site, but doing little to keep their customers safe. She also made it clear that the Offsets could not reopen without significant changes, such as requiring life jackets, hiring lifeguards, and placing signs around the grounds warning people about the risks of jumping into the water.
Well, I was very ecstatic that, and happy that now they're mandated to do these things.
But for Dufell, her battle for justice is only halfway done. She's still fighting for a more irreversible end to the party at the Offsets.
At this point, I think they should be shut down permanently.
Now, several posts on the Offset's Facebook page have addressed this case. One post reads in part, "The court is holding us to a higher standard than government-run facilities. We, as a family and a business, just do not have the financial resources to fight the state." Missouri's Attorney General Eric Schmidt says that he hopes that the Offsets make the necessary safety changes. Live in the newsroom tonight, I'm Rico Bush, 5 on your side. All along Express Drive in Belleville, you can see the steeple on top of St. Matthew United Methodist Church. Inside the sanctuary, on a typical day, Matt Vollmer, his wife Lindsay, and his fellow pastor Andy Black prepare for their next church service.
I would have been in my office setting up for Sunday morning.
But last Thursday, the trio of pastors decided to take a lunch break at a friend's home, and on their way back to church, they noticed something was wrong at a home in their neighborhood.
And I just saw smoke coming out the top of what looked like the house.
The pastors say they went to check out the home and discovered it had caught fire and was quickly filling up with smoke.
It just engulfed. It just came out. The smoke just hit us.
Signal Hill fire officials say the homeowner had left something on the stove and got distracted by a phone call. She tried to open the windows and let out the smoke, but it only got worse and quickly overwhelmed her.
We could hear somebody saying something, and that's when we kind of knew we had to take action.
After hearing someone crying for help, Matt and Andy quickly jumped into action while Lindsay called first responders.
We both got on the ground and we just started crawling around and went to the kind of the bedroom area, and we just started checking doorknobs.
They eventually found the woman who pleaded for their help.
And then she kept saying, "Help me, help me."
And she wasn't able to walk. She wasn't able to get down on her knees and crawl. So Matt and I each took kind of an arm, and we kind of escorted her out one step at a time.
Back in the sanctuary, as a trio recalled their quick actions,
it was like really quick. It felt
Yeah.
like the whole thing probably took 2 minutes to actually get in and get her out.
Yeah.
Andy and his fellow pastors credit God for their timing
But I think God had his hand on the situation for sure.
and for helping them save a woman's life.
She was our neighbor.
Yep.
So, it's just grateful that she is out and she's going to be okay.
Now, fire officials say the first floor of that home had smoke damage, but that fire was mostly contained to the kitchen area. Meanwhile, we're told that the fire victim is expected to be okay.